Hello everyone, this is ZR1 and today we are reviewing an Acura Integra LS 4-door in a sedan 1.8 liter engine. Let's talk about this car. The owner is standing behind me and I really appreciate it to take a look at this car. Pretty much this is an Acura Integra and pretty much you won't see these lately every day in the road. Pretty much you won't see these cars like daily every single day. They're really hard to buy them, even as well to find them as well, because these cars are really pretty much in the junkyard. So let's talk about this Acura Integra. The Acura Integra is basically is a 4-door. You can see one of the things is the owner says is basically there's some things that are peeling off. Pretty much you can see 2 door holders, and this plastic thing is ripped off apart because the sun, he actually respray it. You can see all this respray. One of the things he said, one of the things he did the car is he did aftermarket spoiler. He done it himself, and pretty much the broken antenna. Even as well, we get that pretty soon, so we could check the radio because the radio doesn't even work. Let's take a look at the car. This is a Acura Integra. You can see the car looks perfectly good condition, but one of the things about this, he has a little bit dent right here, lots of scratches. Even as another scratch, you can see whole huge, like, I don't know what is that. That thing is a scratch, a line, I don't know. He got another scratch here, a huge dent right here. I like the way he done the Apple logo in different color, but now it's peeling off because he actually resprayed it. Racing equipment, exhaust. It's just not at the market. It's like a normal exhaust, but once you turn on, it sounds like a very loud exhaust. The logo's not aftermarket. He actually resprayed it because he told me about the logo when he actually looked up on an eBay. These were about 30,000, not 30, my bad. They were about $30 to $40. That's too much, so he actually resprayed it. Let's take a look at this side. This side, you can see this pretty good condition, but one thing about this is the rims. You can see just a huge scratch, a huge hit. I don't know what you're actually parking. I don't know. Like he's saying, look, you can see this one is peeling off. You can see this is peeling off, and you can see all this was like basically all this plastic was covered so it doesn't get in the water. That's one thing about the issue about the Integras. Even as well as this is coming off. And you got a rust right here. You can see this rust inside the water. That's basically, I don't know why. So yeah, car looks good condition. The roof, the bump right, this rear bumper, you can see the paint is peeling off. You got a huge, not a huge, you can actually see you got a huge dent right here, a big bump. You actually hit something. All this is plastic and this is metal, you can see. But after all, he actually maintained the good condition. This car it's dirty, but still you can see the paint is coming off. Even as well this, and pretty much the front bumper looks pretty good, but that's one thing about this. You got more scratches in the bottom. You can see this, there's a lot of scratch at the front, even right here, another here. Even as well the paint is coming off here, and pretty much. So let's go to the interior. I have the key. The owner gave me the key. This is the key of the Integra, so you can see. So let's get inside. And sometimes the owner doesn't like this. When the broken handle, when it's get wet, it slips off. You gotta like do it, like put your finger in here in order to open. All right, so let's take a look at an interior. My bad. Excuse me. So the interior looks very good condition. This doesn't look like basically ripping apart. The only thing that is ripping out apart is the seat. You can see the seats are ripping apart, and you can see the owner doesn't like to see that because most of the people like see the car looks so old, and it is 24 years old. Even the back seat looks ripping apart. You can see in the back, you gotta see it's ripping apart because the heat and the sun absorb these, and these are leathers. These are leather seats, and even as well the glove compartment. So here we have the gauge clutcher. It has, my bad, it has 197. Excuse me, it has 197,000 miles. And the condition of this car looks professional, good. For real, it looks great condition. The only thing he did was he actually resprayed this, even here, the dent of the AC. Even there's one right here and one right here. This one is broken. I don't know what will happen, but overall it looks pretty good condition. And yeah, as you can see, this like basically is this automatic car. Yeah, it has 4 manual transmission. The owner told me about this car. The owner told me about this car is basically the car, when you turn on the car, basically it makes when you put it in reverse, it gives a big massive knock on the transmission. It gets a huge bang. So pretty much not all Acura Integra does that, but once at the time gets to the limit of the car, they start giving up. And the owner told me about the issue is the transmission is getting more weaker, and to rebuild the transmission is worth about $1,500 to rebuild the transmission. Pretty much. The horse still works, and you got cruise control as well. So let's turn on this bad boy and you see how this sounds like. There we go. Car sounds great. Power steering works. Let's take a look at the engine, shall we? So this is an Acura Integra 1.8. This is a 1.8 liter engine. It's not a manual. It's automatic. You can see he actually resprayed the cover of the camshaft. He replaced the ignition point, and even I told you replace the new spark plug. Even also he had to replace the time belt, and that's pretty much it sounds like when it's cold. That's normal, but still, you gotta like basically between right here, back here, like the air, how much air you get in the car. So you have to replace this because one is broken. You can see over there, it's broken over there. So one is replaced. One of the things is broken is the brake line, but the brake line still works. We replaced the filter, new radiator, it's as well a new power steering. It does work. So let's get inside. You can see the car, it goes up and down on RPM because basically when it does that, because the car is running cold. So if the car runs amazing, the sound. The automatic windows down. All the windows still works. Power mirror works. Both sides works. AC doesn't work. I forgot to show you this car doesn't have. It does have AC, but you gotta buy. The owner says he has to buy the AC belt, even as the gas. But the gas, once he put the gas, the tank of the gas, it leaks out. But it still works. You can see it still works. Radio doesn't work. You can see, in order to turn it on, you gotta press this button a couple times and go. but it starts down. I don't know why it starts down. So you gotta give it a second. Well, it's gonna shut down for a second. So. Which it works. Yeah, one is broken. First thing that works. You can see it shut down. You can know about that. So they're gonna test drive this car. So you're gonna hear the bang. So here you go. Look. Whoa. Pretty much you didn't do it, but the owner says the car does that because the transmission is starting getting weak. So it does work. And 1 second, I gotta show you. Before we test drive the car, we gotta show you the trunk. Look at the size of the trunk. The trunks, he got a lot of stuff. One of the things about the issue about this car, he told me about the owner, is basically inside here there's nothing wrong. But the one thing when it rains and when it comes water, car gets in water. You can see underneath here is water. You can see there's water, and the owner doesn't even like that to see that. And you can see there's your spare tire, and there's a huge massive hole in the rust, because that's basically the owner doesn't like to see that because the car is getting old and doesn't like to see that. We gotta just test drive around here. We're not gonna take our route the road. So let's turn it on and test drive this car. It goes with about half a 3,000 mile RPM. So that, don't worry about that. There's like a that's the emergency brake. I don't know, it's like a relay or I don't know, but there's something that's not pushing the way down. So let's go back. Mirror works. All right. Runs perfectly good when you take this in the road, but most of about this car, the way it looks, these cars are amazing to drive, but sometimes you gotta take care of it, because usually this car, there's some people like me, like my age, I'm 17 years old. From my age, there's like people like the teenagers love these cars, and pretty much it grabs the attention of the teenager, and pretty much automatic transmission works, but still the guy say he took it to the service. They said you gotta rebuild the transmission about 1,000. Excuse me. So you can see you got your glove compartment in here. And you got some switch of the lights. The owner, he actually did that, an amazing thing. I don't know how you did it, but he ran a lot of wires. So this is the switch. You can put the lights in the bottom. All the window works. You can see everything is good. Everything was perfectly good, but the one thing is a huge, massive sheet. So if you want to buy one of these cars, just like take care of it. I know there's a lot of teenager who wants this car, And pretty much they are really hard to find them in eBay. Even I saw find these on the website. Sometimes they're